It's hard to explain my relationship with 8 ball. I never chose 9 ball over 8 ball. Never consciously, anyway. I just became more known as a 9 ball player. And usually when I walk in a pool room, I've got patterns, going around in my head and studying patterns and fixing patterns and what to do if this ball is not. That's usually what's happening in my head, and it just makes more sense to me to use a 9 ball rack to, study that and figure that out. Because the balls are numbered and you have to shoot them in rotation. So, with 8 ball, you can screw up a pattern and you still have options. You can just run a different pattern. And with 9 ball, you can't do that. You have to shoot the balls in order. So it just makes more sense to me to practice on a 9 ball rack. For a lot of big dog players, 8 ball is their favorite game, and that includes Shane Van Boning. No, I love both games equally. I think it's really kind of silly when some players feel that you have to pick one over the other. It's kind of bizarre. In fact, competitively, I probably played more 8 ball than 9 ball. The thing with 9 ball is after the break, you figure the rack out and you figure out what you want to do, and that's it. Your thinking is done as long as you stay in line and execute your plan. So the game's it's like a drug. It kind of just takes you away, It's just you're in your own world, and you're just going through the motions that you've already seen in your head and you've already planned. With 8 ball, that's a different story because you have to stay all there throughout the whole game. So after 7 or 8 hours of playing 9 ball, playing 8 ball is a refreshing. It forces you to snap out of the coma and be all there throughout all of it. So no, I love both games. They're both unique creatures. It's like, why do dog people feel that they have to compete with cat people? I love all animals, and they're unique. I love them in different ways. And I don't know why. Well, I put a lot more 9 ball videos on YouTube. Because it's easier for me to explain the patterns when you don't have a choice. You know what I mean? With 8 ball, you break and you have so many choices, just endless. So, you tell the viewer, I'm going to run that pattern right there, and it's like, why not run this one right here? Or if I change my mind on that, or if I get bad on the ball, I'm going to do this right here, and it's liable to confuse the viewer, so that's one of the big reasons there's more 9 ball on my YouTube channel than 8 ball.
Oh no, Martha. What if I missed?
There you go, Harry. You already missed. There ain't no sense in missing now. Save it for later. In the meantime, get these balls out of the way for your opponent. Well, the first thing you want to do after the break is decide which set of balls that you want to play. And this is usually done through a process of elimination. If we take a look at this 15 ball, we can easily see that the 6 is creating havoc for the stripes, and that's just one ball. There's a lot more problems with this table if you're going to decide to shoot the stripes. If we look down at the bottom right-hand corner, we see that the 3 ball is blocking the pocket for both of these balls, the 13 and the 10 balls. So now there's other pockets to shoot those balls, but you're going to have to work for it to get right on both of those balls, and that's just half of it. Another issue is both the 14 and the 12 ball, the 5 balls blocking both of those balls from shooting it in the lower left-hand corner pocket. And again, there's other pockets to shoot those balls, but you're really going to have to move the cue ball around a lot, and you're taking a lot of chances. So it's pretty clear that it's going to be the solids, but that doesn't mean that the solids are a walk in the park. We got some work to do here. Making things a little bit difficult for the solids is the placement of this 15 ball. You really have to get great on this 6 ball in order to run out the solids. And another factor is the placement of this 8 ball along with the 13. We have to get up under that 13, between the 13 and a rail, to shoot that 8 ball, which is making things difficult. This placement of the 5 ball is also no picnic. So the best thing to do is take a good hard look at this 6 ball, and you're already in a position where you can shoot the 6 and get that problem out of your way. Furthermore, you can get back down on the 5 ball and also get that problem out of the way. So this is the correct way to start this game. And I'm constantly telling 8 ball players, you have to take care of your problems to begin with. Don't save them for later. They're not going away. And I know a lot of you hesitate to do this because you don't want to make things easier for your opponent. But I'm promising you, 8 ball and 9 ball both favor the aggressive player. And you're not playing not to lose, you're playing to win. So missing is simply not an option, and we have to take care of this. And your opponent cannot beat you if you never let him out of his chair and on the table. When you walk up to a pool table like this, you should be in attack mode. If you're thinking, oh, I'm going to save that 6 and that 5 ball for later, you're thinking all wrong. Your main focus should be on solving problems as soon as possible so you can run out. What's going to happen if you decide to shoot the easy shot instead of taking care of those problems is you're going to find trouble later on in this rack, and you're going to feel more and more pressure to get perfect on this, especially the 6 ball. And you have a fine window in there where you're going to have to be perfect. And because you're not thinking right, and because you're thinking timid, you're going to screw it up. And I've seen this so many times throughout my whole life. And players decide, well, I'm just going to shoot the easy shot and hopefully I can get the right position to run this rack. It doesn't work like that. You have to take care of your problem balls, because you have to give yourself a chance. You can't just, it's like putting off your bills. They don't go away. They turn your electric off. So as you're coming up to the table, you have a choice. You can fight to make this game easy right from the start, or you can put your problems off and make the game very, very difficult. The great players are constantly making the right choice, and the right choice here is to shoot this 6 ball first, because that would have been a problem later on, and to get on the 5 to take care of that problem. And now you have a pretty simple run out. Your only problem after that is that 13 ball getting in your way of the 8 ball. So no, I'm not worried about leaving my opponent out. I'm completely focused on running this rack and keeping him in his chair. If you focus on, trying to make things difficult for your opponent, that means that you already have it in your head that he's going to be stepping up to the table, and the whole agenda is to not let him step to the table. We'll issue with this 1 ball in the corner, and you'll see what happens. And this, I'm pulling back knowing that the 2 ball is blocking the side pocket, so it's just a little bump right there. I have to get right on this 1 ball, so I'm thinking a lot about that, and I'm looking at that 3 ball right there. And I'm deciding to use the 2 ball to play a billiard into the 3, but it doesn't quite work the way I had it planned. That wasn't a real great stroke. It was straight, but my stick jumped up a little bit at the end there because I got a little too excited. I'm looking for the right angle on that 2 to play a billiard on the 2-3. But as far into that pocket that the 3 ball is, I barely bumped the 3. So I just want to leave the cue ball right outside where the 3 ball is, and just have a clean, clear shot on this 8. Now you're putting a lot of left-hand English on there because you want to stay down there on that 8 ball. And that's it. I'm going to run another rack, but I'm not going to be yakking much in it. I'm just going to let it speak for itself. I could sit here and talk about it all day long, but let's just put some music on it and let this next rack roll. If you don't take this aggressive attack mode approach to the game, the better players are going to walk all over you and they're going to enjoy every second. You don't want to wind up a weak, nervous player. Now, I'm not saying be stupid about things. I'm saying come to the table and approach the game in attack mode. You have to be aggressive. I don't know if pool taught me this about life or life taught me this about pool. You know, all business is solving problems all day, every day. You wake up in the morning solving problems. You go to bed at night solving problems. And whoever solves the problems the best wins. Some people are running from their problems, you know. They spend their whole lives running from their problems. If you're good at solving problems, you'll be a good business owner or a good pool player. The biggest thing is quickly, solve them quickly, otherwise they're going to pile up. So if you have an opportunity to fix a problem, then you take it. If you don't have an immediate opportunity to take care of the problem, then you create an opportunity to take care of the problem. But here's the key: as quickly as possible.